Hey guys, it has been a Fed kind of morning. So we've had, the price action in the triple Qs, the price action in the indices in general has been sort of lower and then grinding sideways. Haven't had a ton of big swing moves to anticipate. So if what you're looking for is to, capitalize on a big futures move or a big triple Q move, that's just not going to happen until after we get the announcement. I think that we're going to see a pretty typical reaction here, even though this Fed announcement is pretty much baked into the cake. So I don't think there's going to be any surprise coming when the Federal Reserve policy decision is discussed. It's coming up. It's imminent. We've had a few hours of just sort of sideways trading that I want to take a look at, and then let's talk about what the strategy will be for the afternoon. So let's look at the charts and see what we've been doing and what we can expect for the next half hour or so until we get a decision. Here is this morning, and you can see that the market, it did do pretty good 1, 2, 3 kind of a move down into the open, into the early part of the session, but then it got back up and it stabilized and it's in the box, and in the box has been, this is a pretty easy trade as far as a scalp goes. Like I said, there's not much there if you're looking to swing these things. It's been nice in that it gets up into the 2 standard deviation excursion from the mean. It's been oscillating around its volume weighted average price for the session, and it has some stable anchored VWAPs as well as this big volume by price block. So as I said, if you're looking to scalp it, it's not going to be huge, right? You get about 40 cents of range if you're looking to scalp all the way down into the bottom of this. Realistically, the better play is from this dotted line that I drew here. This is sort of a minor support, and just down into about here. So from O spot 05 down to maybe 9 spot 80 has been just sort of a quick turn on the triple Q. And if you are trading on the future side of it, just make sure you're not using market orders to enter and exit those trades, because in all likelihood you're going to get killed, right? It's going to be there's going to be some slips, and the range just isn't there to give you the big gains. I mean, if you're trading three contracts, you're probably able to pull a couple $100 out of each one of these little swing moves. But if you're not really good with the triggers, then you're gonna miss, and you're gonna wind up slipping down in the range. You're gonna have a lot of negative price excursion before you see any kind of a positive print on your P&L. So I would say that as is typical of these markets, once we get the announcement, the most likely thing is going to be a pop. It could be to the downside, could be the upside. That gets you back up into the earlier part of the range, right? And then a pop that gets you down into the lower part of the range, and then this kind of a thing that happens, and it'll swing one way or the other. I mean, it doesn't necessarily hold true that it's going to be to the downside, given where we've been today. So we've had an excursion in both directions, and could wind up in either one. But if you watch for that 1, 2, 3 swing that typically happens after a Fed announcement, it should give you a pretty good feel for the range that we're going to see in the afternoon. I would assume that there's going to be about $1 of trading range going into the latter part of the session. And if that's the case, make sure that you keep an eye on these blocks. So you want to see where we are in relation to where this volume has stacked in the earlier part of the session. And also keep an eye on these bands. If these are widening, then it's a good idea to hold off on any kind of trades that you're looking to do. Wait for the scalps. Don't try to scalp into a widening set of volatility bands, because that is a recipe for getting caught in a trade that you don't want to get caught in. All right, so I think that pretty much wraps up what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I'm going to watch for the Fed announcement. I'm going to watch to see, did we get this like 1, 2, 3 hammering of volatility right after the announcement comes out? And then if we do, where's everything settle in, and are there more opportunities for scalps? Again, I don't think you're going to see sort of big picture swing trades setting up this afternoon, but I do think there's going to be more opportunity to catch some smaller moves but catch 4 or 5 of them and they tend to add up. All right, so I hope that helps, and I will see everybody right here tomorrow morning. Take care.